Hi guys, my name is Deepak Patil from Mumbai, Maharashtra, and welcomes you to our online learning platform DG Marine. Here we will provide you some notes, all videos and guidance to clear your class 4 COC as fast as possible. We have completed in our previous video the boiler basic concepts. Now this is boiler part 2. I have tell you which all things I will cover in this part in the previous video. Those guys who have not watched that video, guys, please watch that video. You will get basic concepts. After that, you watch this video. So guys, welcome. Sorry for the inconvenience guys, but I have tried to shoot part 2 in a single video, but it is very difficult because it's going up to 45 minutes, 50 minutes. So I have divided the boiler part 2 video in a part 2A and part 2B. So these all things like the safety valve, basics of the safety valve, its component, its functions, chattering, fluttering, feathering effects, the overhauling of the safety valve, the setting of the safety valve, accumulation pressure test and purpose. This all I have shoot in part 2A, and in part 2B, like very important concepts like the hydraulic pressure testing, survey of the boiler, the foaming, priming phenomena and shrinkage and swelling phenomena, difference between all of this, and the 3 element control method of the feed water. So this I have covered in a part 2B. So I have split the part 2 boiler part 2 video in a part 2A and part 2B. So guys, now come to safety valve. It is the most important boiler mounting. Many of the questions form on the safety valve. We will cover all the questions in detail one by one. If you think that some questions or any of the question I have missed, you can comment in the comment box. So I will cover that question in the next videos. But be assured, 99.99% questions which is asked by the surveyor I will cover. So the safety valve. The reason behind the safety valve is to protect the boiler from the over pressurizing. So generally this is the regulation about the safety valve. That is that every boiler or any steam generator, it should be fitted with the safety valve, at least one safety valve. And the boiler or a steam generator which is having more than 46.5 meter square of water heating area, it should have at least 2 safety valves. So I will repeat it again. Any kind of boiler, that is water tube boiler, smoke tube boiler or any other boiler or a steam generator, it should have at least one safety valve. And the boiler which is having more than 46.5 meter square of water heating area, it should have at least 2 safety valves. And this 2 safety valves, generally on our boiler there are 2 safety valves. Both 2 safety valves should be from single chest. Like if this is the boiler, and here you want to put the safety valve, cut a single circle, and then from this single chest two safety valves are there. The reason behind that is the boiler strength. If for 2 safety valves you cut 2 holes, then the boiler strength will reduce. So the reason behind that 2 safety valves are from the same chest. This is one of the question. The second thing is safety valve lifting pressure. According to regulation, the safety valve should not lift above 3% of the working pressure. Like example, if on your ship the working pressure of the boiler is 10 bar. So 10 bar and the 3%. The 3% of the 10 bar is 0.3. So your safety valve should not lift above 10.3 bar. It should lift at 10.3 bar or below 10.3 bar. So generally 2 safety valves are there. So one generally lift at 10.1 bar, one generally lift at 10.2 bar. Now we will discuss some important definitions. If you understand this, then it will be easy for further studies. Set pressure. Set pressure is the boiler pressure at which safety valve starts to lift is set pressure. Like example, if your 10.1 bar is your set pressure. For the previous safety valve I have shown the wall lift. The wall lift means how much vertical distance this disc or wall moves. Like this was the closed position number 1 and this is open position number 2. So this is the wall lift. The vertical distance the disc moves. The opening and sitting pressure. The opening pressure, like the pressure at which the safety valve opens. Maybe at set pressure it opens. They both might be same. Both are same. The sitting pressure. Once the blow off occurs, means the steam goes outside and the pressure drops. The point at which the safety valve sits again, it is the sitting pressure. Now we will come to a blow down pressure. Blow down pressure is the pressure difference between the opening pressure and sitting pressure. Means it shows that how much amount of the steam it has released. So the blow down pressure is the difference between the opening pressure and the sitting pressure. Generally it is kept at 2 to 5%, because if the blow down pressure increases, the steam will burst, and if the blow down pressure is less, the wall will not be stable. There are some effects. If the blow down pressure is very low, like chattering effect, fluttering effect, we will discuss about that effects. Now we will discuss about chattering, fluttering and feathering effect. So before that we will discuss that lift. The safety valve lift should be a D by 4. Why it should be D by 4? That the accumulation of pressure when the lift is D by 4 is 0. We will discuss further in detail, but why it should not be a more? But if your safety valve lift is more than D by 4, then it is waste of efforts, because at D by 4 lift only you are getting accumulation of pressure 0. So no need of lift more than D by 4. And why it should not be a less? Because if it is less, then there will be a accumulation of the pressure. So now we will discuss about the chattering. Chattering is nothing but it's the vertical or the axial movement of the wall lid. It is a chattering. When it occurs, it is generally occur when your blow down pressure is very low, means the pressure difference between the opening and sitting is very low. That time chattering occurs. Fluttering is same. It is the axial movement of the wall lid with respect to wall sit. But in difference between chattering and fluttering is, in chattering your wall lid touches a wall sit and then moves axially up, then comes down and touches the wall sit and again moves up. So this is the chattering. In fluttering your wall lid never touches the wall sit. Third is the feathering. In feathering, generally when you are not getting the lift of D by 4, to avoid the accumulation of pressure, we are increasing the diameter. Of the wall sit. So your wall sit diameter increases. If your wall sit diameter increases, its thickness also increases. And as the thickness increases, your clamping force of a wall lid on the wall sit reduces. So first, your clamping force has reduced. This is the first reason. And in second reason, if you are not using proper boiler water, your boiler water having some sediments and other impurities, so that impurities get accumulated over here. Because of that, a thin film of the steam gets leaked from here. This effect of leakage is called as feathering. Two reasons I generally told you. If your diameter is more, if safety valve diameter is not proper and diameter is more, so thickness will be more and clamping force reduces. Because of that also steam can leak. And second thing, you are not using a proper water, or water having a sediments or other impurities, they get accumulated over here and thin film starts leaking. That we called as a feathering. Now here is the comparison between the ordinary safety valve, high lift safety valve and improved high lift safety valve. Before going to comparison, first we will understand the concept of accumulation pressure and what should be the lift of the safety valve to avoid the accumulation of the pressure. So the steam, it is coming from here, from boiler, the steam is coming, okay, from this area. This area is 5 by 4 d square. Okay, and for this amount of steam, some called that area as a curtain area. To compensate this area, how much lift should be there? So the circumference of this wall lid is pi d, and how much lift should be there is L. So we can find out, to avoid accumulation, the lift should be d cancel, pi cancel, d by 4. So if this amount of L, this amount of lift is equal to d by 4, diameter by 4, then there will not be accumulation of pressure over here. But up to a improved high lift safety wall, there is no such kind of wall who is having the lift d by 4. So by these steps, what we are trying? By these steps, we are trying to reach this d by 4. So you understand what is the accumulation of pressure. As we are not getting the lift of the d by 4, we are getting the lift less than this. So there is some accumulation of the pressure in the boiler. So you understand the accumulation. What is accumulation of the pressure? This is lift. What lift should be there to avoid the accumulation of the pressure? Now we will come to the comparison. Like this steam piston and floating ring in the diagram in the next slide, I will explain. First, just you copy this. You just take the screenshot, or you just write on the notebook. The ordinary safety wall. This is the comparison generally asked by the surveyor. Ordinary safety wall. It is winged safety wall. There is a wing in this safety wall. High lift safety wall. Yes, wing is there. Improved high lift. It is wingless safety wall. To increase the lift, they have done this. So what they have do to increase the lift? First of all, the wingless safety wall. Second, no exhaust steam piston. Here, the exhaust steam piston is there. They have carried the exhaust steam piston. Whatever the development is happening to increase the lift only. There is no floating ring in the ordinary safety wall. There is, I think there is no safe floating ring. Yeah, sorry. There is no floating ring in the ordinary safety wall. There is no floating ring in the high lift safety wall. Only floating ring in the improved high lift safety wall. The lift, what we are getting, we want d by 4, but what we are getting in the ordinary safety wall, we are getting d by 24, high lift d by 12, and improved high lift we are getting d by 8. So for the improved high lift, or for to increasing the lift, what things we have done? Surveyor generally asks this question. So the first thing, we goes to wingless safety wall. Second thing, we use the exhaust steam piston and the floating ring combination to increase the lift. And third thing, there is a lip on the lid. Like this is the lid, but this is just I shown you to clear. This type of lid is there in modern safety walls, and this is the lip. This shape we call as a lip. So why it is there? At the start of the at the time of the lifting, only this area the steam will exert the pressure. Okay, but as it gets lift, the upper spring, there will be a spring. It will get compressed. So more force will require to compress the spring. So this lip shape helps in that. Like once it gets lift, example, it is up to now here. So now the steam is applying pressure over here also. So that stiffness of the spring which is get increased, it is compensated by this lip. So this lip is also the way to increase the lift of the safety wall. So this is the picture of safety wall I have tried to draw, and this is the actual safety wall, you can see. So we will discuss all the parts which are incorporated in the safety wall. First we will go with the blow down ring. We already know what is blow off pressure. It is the pressure difference between the opening pressure and the sitting pressure. So blow down ring, when you will rotate it clockwise, it will go inside, and as it will go inside, the blow off pressure will be more, and the more steam wastage will be there, so water will be get wasted. And if you rotate it anti-clockwise, it will go outside and the blow off pressure will be less. So the result is chattering or fluttering. Second, a lip clearance. We have already talked the purpose of the lip, that when this gets lifted, the spring will get compressed and the more stiffness of the spring will be felt. So to adjust that increased stiffness, the lip is there. It will give more lift. It will try to lift further. The lip clearance. The purpose of the lip clearance is that when the temperature increases, the seat will thermally expand. To compensate this clearance as given. Because of this clearance, a wall lid completely sit on the seat and seal the surface. Now third it is drain. So about the drain, there is a regulation regarding drain, that the diameter of the drain should be at least 20 mm. The purpose of the drain, when the safety wall lifts, like imagine this will be a pipe going outside. When the safety wall will lift, the steam will go outside, and when it will sit, the inside steam will get condensed and all steam from the pipe will come back, and if there is no drain, all water will be on the lid. So now water is there and the spring pressure is there. So now your opening pressure will vary, it will increase. So to avoid this, and the second reason why the water is coming, maybe from rainy season, from your funnel the water may be coming. So because of these two reasons, the drain is there. Drain will allow the water to go and drain out. So the opening pressure will not get vary. The drain. Now the fourth one is exhausting piston. Exhausting piston we have incorporated in the high lift safety valve. The purpose is that to increase the lift. The piston is easy to get lifted and to push the spring. So that's why we have incorporated this. Then comes the floating ring. We incorporated in the improved high lift safety valve. The purpose is that sometimes the exhausting piston gets stuck in somewhere and the valve remains open only. So to avoid this, floating rings comes in picture. It is like a liner. For the piston it is like a liner, so that the piston will not get stuck. So this is the floating ring. Now easing gear. There are 2-3 purposes of the easing gear. First, as name itself suggests, easing gear. We use the easing gear and operate the things and check whether they are easy to operate or not. Generally we use weekly once. The second thing about the easing gear, that when in the case of safety valve, when we use easing gear, you will get the lift of D/4. Then the purpose, when you get the lift of D/4, there will be no accumulation of the pressure over there. So in case of emergency, you can use the easing gear. The third thing, whatever the dirt or dust particle over here is accumulated, when you use the easing gear, it will get blow off. So there will be no any sediment or any particle over there. The another purpose of the easing gear, that you operate this remotely, so there is no harm. There is a distance between the thing which you are operating and you. So no harm, you are operating from the distance. The next thing is the compression nut and the split collar. Compression nut we will see afterwards, that how we set the safety valve. So the compression nut is used to set the pressure of safety valve, that on which pressure it should get lifted. To adjust the set pressure, we are using the compression nut and split collar. Once you do a proper setting, we insert the split collar. The reason behind that no one should change that setting. So for that reason we are using the split collar. So all the things we have done of the safety valve. Now we will go for the overhauling of the safety valve. Now we will come to overhauling of the safety valve. So for overhauling of the safety valve, first your boiler should be depressurized. If your boiler is depressurized and completely cooled, then you open the safety valve. Before opening, you remove the split collar and lose the compression nut. So the spring which is under tension and this rod which is under tension, the tension will get removed and the spring will completely open. Then after, open the safety valve. So before assembling, what things you have to check? First, the matting surface, the surface between the lid and the seat. There should not be a scratches or dents or any form of impurities over there. So just clean it, and if there is a need, lap it with a fine lap. So once you lap this and the surfaces are finished, then you come to lip clearance. Generally, if you didn't lap the surfaces are okay. People don't take a lip clearance. But if you have overall, then you should have to take the lip clearance. For taking the lip clearance, just put the lead wall over here. Place all the things and tight the compression nut to that respective position or the previous position. Then again open all the things and check the size of the lead wall. You will get the lip clearance. Once you check the lip clearance, come to this, the shaft. The steel shaft, it is always under tension while opening also and in the regular condition also. So you have to check their trueness, whether it is got bend or anything else. So just go on lathe machine and check the trueness. For the lathe machine, how to check the trueness? Just put the shaft in the chuck, then rotate the lathe machine, then take the gauge, dial gauge, and put on this shaft. So if it is bent, you will get the variation in the clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. So you can find out from over there that whether it is straight or not. If it is fine, then come to spring. For the spring, you just do the drop test. Like from certain height, you just throw the spring and check whether it is bouncing back or not. So you will get that whether the stiffness is remained over there or not. After the spring, once you assemble all the things, important is drain. Very important. You have opened this and there is the regulation as we have discussed before, that 20 mm regulation. So put air over here and check from the drain that whether the air is coming. Means the drain is clear or not. Once you check the drain and assemble the all things, check that whether the piston is free to rotate or free to move inside the floating ring. This is very important, that piston has not stuck anywhere. It is freely to move in the floating ring. Then after, tight the compression nut to the previous marking and put the split collar. But if you have mat the surfaces, then there may be chances that opening pressure may vary. Or for the safety caution, you just set the pressure. So how to set the safety valve pressure, we will discuss now. Now, accumulation pressure test. First, when we do the accumulation pressure test, in two conditions, when your safety valve is new or your whole boiler is new, only that time we do the accumulation pressure test. In the routine maintenance or in the boiler survey, we never perform the accumulation pressure test. The purpose of the accumulation pressure test. The purpose of the accumulation pressure test is that your safety valve size are sufficient to lose the pressure in case of emergency and your safety valves are performing well. So what we do in the accumulation pressure test? First, we will check that there is sufficient water in the boiler. Then we will stop all steam stop valves. Then we will bypass the high pressure cutout. Then we will fire the boiler. Fire the boiler with all the burner with the maximum rate. Once you fire the boiler, the pressure will come when your safety valve lifts. You will note that time and the pressure on which the safety valve lifts. So after the safety valve lifts, there are two conditions. The pressure should not rise 10% of the working pressure in a 15 minutes for smoke tube boiler and in 7 minutes for the water tube boiler. Means like if your boiler water pressure is your boiler pressure is 10 bar. The 10% of the 10 bar is 11 bar. So when the safety valve will lift, from that time 10 to 11, time should not be less than a 7 minutes for the water tube boiler. Means in a water tube boiler, when the safety valve lift and the boiler is firing with the full rate, then 10 to 11 should not go within the 7 minutes. It should be more than 7 minutes. And same for the exhaust tube boiler in the 15 minutes. Why it is 7 minutes? because in water tube boiler the rate of evaporation is higher than the smoke tube boiler, so accumulation pressure will be higher in the water tube boiler. Two things you should take care while performing a accumulation pressure test. The first thing, your boiler water level should not goes down while performing the accumulation pressure test. If it is happening, then immediately stop your boiler firing. And the second important thing, the boiler which is having the superheater tubes, we can't perform the accumulation pressure test. The purpose is that your main steam stop valve is closed, so now no steam is going to boiler superheater, and when you will pressurize the boiler, the first safety valve of the superheater will lift and all steam will go out, and the superheater tubes are now without steam, they are dry, so superheater tubes will burn if you perform accumulation pressure test. And survey generally ask this thing, that which safety valve has which value. Generally a superheater safety valve having a less setting value than a boiler safety valve. The reason behind that is the superheater tubes are very thin, small in diameter, and they are carrying the steam only, and the purpose of the superheater that the steam should continuously flow from the superheater. If you are increasing the safety valve setting of the superheater, then it is having a steam. Okay, like if your boiler having a water, if you increase the pressure, the temperature will increase, and the increased temperature will be absorbed by water to convert into a steam. But in case of superheater, they are having only steam, so the increase in pressure will increase the temperature, and there is no latent heat concept now, so the boiler superheater tubes temperature will increase only, and in that time the boiler superheater tubes will get cracked. This is the reason of having the low setting of the safety valve of a superheater tubes. So thank you guys for watching this video. Today only I am going to release the part 2B video, and I will cover all these topics very detailed in that video. So guys, up to that, bye bye. We will come with new video on the same day.